Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Okay, so you've known I've gone through this book, just so everybody sees it. Introduction to Options and Futures, Colin Carter. Excellent book. I've gone through all the equations that are in this book. I've got a list here. A lot of people don't know I've already posted this on my blog. You can find all the classifications by chapter, by page reference in this book. Okay, so if you want to follow along, this is what you do: get the book. You can get it on Amazon, and right here I list it if you want to do that. So not only have I identified the equations, I've also gone through each chapter by chapter. As I said here, we've got over 50 in total. So each chapter contains this amount of equations. And yeah, we're looking at about 50. Will I use them all? Most likely not. A good chunk of them commonly used throughout the professional trading world when it comes to options and futures trading. So knowing all that, what I've done is I've gone through the entire list. Now this link is only available for my Quant Elite members, so I've gone through the entire list, identified the equations for each of these in the book, put a little note on what it is and what it represents. So I've done that. And not only that, but for my members, I've now made it available where you can actually download the functions, Matlab functions. Let me show you what that contains. This is a zip file, or sorry, an AR file. This is what it contains when you load it up. A couple things people need to be aware of. Now, this is my first set of these equations. Obviously, they're not final. It won't be. Once I get them implemented into my Matlab's Simulink models, and I start seeing myself actually using them, that's when they get closer to more of a final edition. Some of these models are not complete as well, or equations are not complete. There's expressions in there from the book. I've done my best to sort of interpret them for Matlab, but I do believe, and I've said this many times, that MuPad, the editor, this is where a couple examples, maybe about 5 of them, 3 of them, may need to go through that process. I'm not too concerned about it right now because I may not use those equations. But the ones I will, I'll definitely get them into a final state. There's certain conditions where you may not use these functions, as in treasury. I mean, with a face value of $1 million, unless somebody out there wants to donate me $1 million to play treasury future contracts, by all means I will, and I'll get that function working. But there's just those kind of examples where practically for little guys or retail guys like me won't be playing. I just actually talked to somebody today who probably would laugh at the treasury because I put up an ETF report about right now being July 30th. People are piling into treasury crazily right now. Anyways, so those functions exist. Hooray for that. Let me show you some examples. Now I've segregated out the functions chapter by chapter. I think it's chapter 8 has the most, because this is like where the options lie. So if I just pull one up randomly, you know, like I said, you'll have the function declaration and some of the other things. Like this one would be the actual algorithm or equation. And then for everybody to know, let me just pull up another one here. You'll find here the equation reference in the book. So every single one of them has that. So you'll be able to trace it back into the book to get a further explanation. you got the YouTube channel as well, or the playlist from UC Davis to really drill down. There should be no excuses where using these resources that you cannot understand it, even for me. That's why I use this course, because it's one of the first end-to-end courses explaining futures trading and options trading. Now I can start building systems around it. Hooray for that, instead of guessing and interpreting. So that's all there. As I said, if you come under the Academy thing, this right here, and then you'll find that function file that you can download, which is packaged up here. And that's pretty well it. So we're on our way. Now, knowing all that, there's still two very important steps. Equations are important. We get that. Let's pull up a page here. For instance, right here, I don't know if you can see that, but if you see right in the book, there's charts. That one's a good example, actually, of supply and demand, because that's what this book is about. Fundamental analysis, really. So those kind of plots are really important. So this first step I need to do, I mentioned this before as well, is to use a product within Matlab called Matlab Guide, which allows you to create GUIs to create interactive graphical user interfaces. Obviously, these kind of charts will be part of that. I've got some code examples to get me there. And being able to take that and then be able to have them as part of this system, which is really important. On top of that, I know a lot of people do not have Matlab or cannot afford it in their wildest dreams. We get that. What I'm planning to do with the GUIs components is to convert them into executable jar files, meaning that they are going to be deployed through Java, put into Java archive files, and they'll be executable and be able to be called like an API through Java. And of course, because it's multi-platform, you can run on any operating system, be it OS X for Mac, for Windows or Linux, no problem. Also, the second big issue is designing the actual trading logic. Hopefully you've seen my videos on Simulink and the demos, the little knobs and the gauges that I put out. That's where Simulink is going to be really powerful to be able to design that trading logic using these functions that I've built up, and then have the functions get called and bring back results by sending it a certain amount of data. The other thing is regarding future prices. There are some decent sources out there, so I'm going to have to build some pieces or components that can download that information from particular sites. Or I may get it through maybe Interactive Brokers in itself. I don't know yet, but I mean that's down the line. I want to get these Simulink models first and put in the assumption that I have the data, because at some point I will have to download it. So I will have to build up that trading logic. Now, because I'm using Simulink, and again, hopefully you've watched the demos videos on my YouTube channel. On there, you will find the ability to code generate into C, C++, or HDL. So I've gone to some length to get this done with these 50 algorithms, code generate them into C++ or C, most likely C, just for simplistic reasons, create a static library that a C or C++ client code can read, and then be able to work from that. And on top of that, because I'm building Simulink within itself, I can code generate that into self-containing executable programs with the addition of the executable Java jar files for the front end. So I'm hoping to get a lot of this done fairly quickly. My progress has been pretty solid. I still got lots to learn, meaning the state flow, more advanced MuPad, being able to develop Java code, client code that can call the Java jar files that are created through the Matlab guide. So all in all, it's looking really good. Once I get to that level, and I'm pretty comfortable with it, with that, as I call it, the best workflow for HFT, I think I'll be in really, really good shape then to be able to take it to the next level, meaning I've got my AK-47 system that I kind of want to take all the good and working elements out of that code and run them through the Simulink process to build out better charting, better code, and of course C++ or C, whichever, for that system as well, and hopefully integrate everything, because if you can see the power of what I presented in the AK-47 code, on top of this code with all these little algorithms, I can see any asset of a future or an option on a future and check out the data. And I've got probably in among these algorithms or equations, I've got probably 4 or 5 different signals that I can use for arbitrage opportunity or profit opportunity. This code's pretty cool. This book has really opened my eyes a lot. I've talked to probably 3 or 4 multi-millionaire traders about this view. They are in absolute agreement that this is the right path, meaning they don't believe in historical patterns. They don't believe in technical analysis, meaning you're going to watch charts and make trading decisions off of a bunch of charts, which is off of past data. So this seems to be the right way, plus with the workflow, that's going to add to it as well, and as well as the ability, hopefully, to integrate Redis as well for absolutely quick database internally, in memory, as well as using Postgres as my backstore that I've already built out. But I will have to redesign a much better schema for the database. The one I currently have just sucks. It was just a quick and dirty way to get a system up and running, which I've accomplished. Anyways, I've blabbed enough on where we're at, but I do want you to realize that there are algorithms now for the trading for futures and options. Thankfully, from this book, we have accomplished that mission. More to come with the Simulink models, and of course, this is now available to all my Quant Elite members. You just come under Initial Equations for Options and Futures Trading under the there's a section here called Notes on Futures Trading and Notes on Options Trading. That's all from the same book. This one. It's all comes from the same source. Source code's in that category. So do check it out. If you want to join, all I have to do is just go anywhere on my site. You'll see an Elite button, and you will then get your little description. Just come under here and subscribe. Absolute steal for what you're getting. What more can I tell you? Hopefully I'll see you on the other side. We'll be doing more meetups about this stuff and really bringing it all together. Over and out. Later.